Family, I ask you to go on mute.
Okay.
Family, I ask you to go on mute.
Okay.
Family, I ask you to go on mute.
I did. You can still hear me? I'm on mute
No, I
now.
think that was just the echo.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know why I did that. Okay, let me go ahead and get
I
started.
did. You can still hear me? I'm on mute
No,
now.
I think that was just the echo. Yes. Which I don't know why I did that. Okay, let me go ahead and get started.
You can still hear me? I'm on mute now.
I think that was just the echo. Yes. Which I don't know why I did that. Okay, let me go ahead and get started. Yes. Greetings and salutations, everybody. And welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey channel and the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. So, Aunt Faye, do you have another? Greetings and salutations, everybody. Hold on, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, so let me just start again. To everybody who's just tuning on, we're just trying to get this technology right. So bear with us. We're gonna get started with the book discussion in just a minute. So if you heard the conversations, it's okay. It's technology. Y'all understand because y'all been on Zoom and y'all been on Microsoft Teams and all these other services that we use, one conference call, and sometimes you just have some technical difficulties, right? Plus, you all know I don't ever come on a Tuesday. So this is something absolutely brand new because I do not come on Tuesday. So let me tell you something. We getting it together and it's all good. Yes, indeed. So welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey channel and welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey podcast on a Tuesday night at 7:15 p.m. Hey, how y'all doing? So y'all, I am doubly excited tonight because it is my book release night. Woo! Yes, y'all. Look, I plan to have some balloons up here, have a banner, y'all. But look, I done had 2 events just this evening. This is my 3rd event for this evening. So I didn't have time to go get any balloons. I think I have some probably in the storage, but I didn't go get them. I was gonna get some little fancy balloons. I didn't have time, y'all, but it's all good. We still happy. We're still celebrating the release of my newest book entitled 8 Friends for, oh, wrong one. That was the first cover. 8 Friends, 4 Loves, and 1 Foundation. Y'all, I am so excited to be talking about my book tonight. I have not read or I have not released, I'm not, because I've been writing books, y'all. I have not released a book since October 2022. So it's been 3 years this month since I released my last book. And y'all, I've been writing at least 5 stories. I started writing at least 5 stories November of 2022 through the National Novel Writing Month. And y'all, so 5 stories been brewing. And so I had to figure out which one am I going to release next. And then, of course, I'm thinking about the ones that I'll release next, right? I have one I think I'm trying to get done and released by spring of 2026 if the Lord blesses me to live to see it. So you all just stay tuned. But tonight we are talking about 8 Friends, 4 Loves, and 1 Foundation. Y'all, let's just get right into it. Y'all, I have a special guest. I told y'all I was going to get at least one guest on, and I have one guest on joining me tonight for the book discussion. It is my Aunt Wanda Humphrey. You all, she is no stranger to the Stephanie Humphrey channel and the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. She's been my guest talking about my other books. She's also been a guest teaching during our ministry event. So I'm so excited she had time tonight to join us. I want you to give a hello and a celebration to my Aunt Wanda as she joins us tonight. Aunt Wanda, I'll let you say hello to the people.
Hello, family. How's everyone doing? Glad to be here.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. Let me tell you, I'm so excited to hear what you have to say about this book. I'm gonna tell you that. Because one thing my family would tell me, my books, they a mess. They good, but they are a mess. So I'm really excited to hear what Aunt Wanda has to say about the book tonight. Also, if you all have comments, please add them to the live chat. Let us know your thoughts about the book. If you've had an opportunity to read it, let us know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. So let's get into it. So look, y'all. I don't know about Aunt Faye. She had a good time reading it, but I sure had a good time writing this story. So, Aunt Wanda, what was your first reaction to this book, including the name of the book, the cover, and the content?
Well, Stephanie, when I saw the cover of the book and it said 8 friends for relationship, I knew right then when they were comparing to for relationship when I saw the 8 friends. And the cover of the books just just say love, love, love is in the air. Um and another thing that came to my mind, they were all friends. Now they gonna pair off and become lovers. And hopefully be a long lasting relationship between them and they can still remain friends within the within their little circle.
Awesome. Oh, all right. That's good already. All right. Well,
Yes.
by the time you get to the end, you'll be able to see if what you just stated is accurate. So let's see. So I actually, just to let you all know, because Aunt Wanda talked about the love, love, love that she saw in the book. So I actually released this cover on social media a couple of months ago just to get people's reaction. And believe it or not, you all, I didn't make this, but I put this together. So I had this particular heart in my storage and I had these little hearts. Let me give it to you this way. And I had these little hearts. And I was like, you know what? I want to symbolize the 8 friends. So that's why you see the 8 hearts. I'm sure you all got that, right? That's why you see the 8 hearts. And then you see the 3 hearts in the middle because their one foundation is God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So we got those 3 hearts right in the middle to represent the Trinity. But those hearts going around the larger heart represents the 8 friends. And so I put that together and I was just like, and you, I don't know if you noticed that there is a heart and a cross at the bottom to also represent Jesus as the foundation for these friendships and for these loves. So, just to give you like a behind the scenes of how the cover came to be, that is how it came to be. And y'all, the gray is just my table. Look, ain't nothing fancy. It's just my table. I just happen to sit the hearts at the table. So, thank you for that feedback, Aunt Wanda. So, listeners, I hope you have read the first 2 chapters. If you haven't, we have Camille Carrington and Theodore Sanfordson. They are our 2 main characters that are introduced in the first chapter. And so, not to have to read it because we don't have that much time, but just to give you a snippet, Camille is cleaning a building that is a building that her friend cleans. It's her friend's cleaning business and she works for her friend. Her friend wasn't feeling well, so she's actually at the cleaning place. That doesn't tell you in the first chapter, but you'll learn about it a little bit later. So y'all get a preview of the preview you didn't see. And so Ted is there. Theodore, we call him Ted. He's there with a young lady named y'all can't even think of Miss Green. So Miss Green is there. It's her building, her business, and Camille is there to clean. But Ted and Miss Green, they're having a meeting. And then Camille kind of interrupts them with when Miss Green gets stuck about something she wanted to say. Camille interrupts or interjects. I shouldn't say interrupts. She interjects to support Miss Green, and Miss Green was not happy about it. Like she got all kinds of attitude about it. Let me tell you, yes, she did. But before we get to that attitude, because I might didn't ask, yeah, I do have that question. That's number 3, but let me get to number 2. I wonder what do you think it was about Camille that attracted Theodore, and what was it about Theodore that maybe attracted Camille? What's kind of your thoughts about their potential attraction?
I think the first thing with Camille was how handsome he looked and how he carried himself sitting in that chair. And for him to her, he saw how calm she was. He saw that she was a thorough cleaner. He saw how calm she was, and even when the other lady interject when she gave the answer, which I'm not gonna say too much. That's the next question.
Uh-huh.
How she just let it slide. She didn't get upset. She didn't talk out. It was just her demeanor. And I think when they looked at each other, they could see the kindred spirit within each other. I know some people say, well, they don't even know me. They just saying me today. They don't know me. But sometimes you can look at people, how they carry themselves, how they talk, even how they behave, and you can kind of tell what kind of spirit they have. And he said just saw that kindred spirit in her.
Yes, I think it was something about her spirit too
Hmm.
that caught his attention. Like, I know some people, when they see people working in certain occupations like cleaning or
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
sanitation workers or their post office workers, they kind of look down on them because they don't, that's
Hmm.
not quote unquote considered a prestigious position, like
Hmm.
maybe a doctor or a lawyer or an educator or something like that. And I think she carried herself in a way where I'm cleaning this office and I'm going to do it in a spirit of excellence. And I think
Right,
that's what he
right.
noticed. Yeah, and I think that's what he
Hmm.
noticed about her. I
Hmm.
definitely agree with that.
Hmm.
And I think that there was some humility even in the way Camille saw Ted engaging with Miss Green. I think there was some
Hmm.
humility there, and there was some kindness that he showed
Hmm.
towards her that caught Camille's attention as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, yes. And so you are for y'all, if you don't know, Miss Green was not happy when Camille interjected because she just the quote unquote cleaning lady. This cleaning
Hmm.
lady should know these business terms that I'm talking about with Ted because see, Ted is a business owner. I'm a business owner. What does cleaning lady know about business, right? And so I
Hmm.
wonder, what do you think? Let me get back to my question. What do you think was Miss Green's problem? Why did she have such an attitude when all Camille was doing was trying to help her out?
Because Camille answered the question that she was unable to answer. And she felt herself above Camille. And she wondered why this cleaning lady answering for me, even though she gave a valid answer. Why are you answering my question for me? Who you think you are? You are just a cleaning lady. She felt herself above Camille. And plus she was jealous because she noticed how Ted was looking at Camille. She noticed that. And I think there was a little jealousy there. And I think that's why she came down on Camille as hard as she did. Because she just wanted to show, I'm up here, I got all of this right here. And she's just a cleaning lady. And I think that's why she was even harder on Camille.
Yes, I agree. I think too that she was jealous. I think she noticed that Ted, he
Yeah.
might be showing a little bit of interest towards Camille, but no,
Yeah.
his attention need to be right here on me. So I
Right.
need to make sure
Yeah.
he knows who I am.
Yeah, because the whole time he was there with interact, he was looking at Camille. And she
Yes.
noticed that. The attention was
Yeah.
off for her. She the kind of woman that loves attention. And she probably a nice, a beautiful looking woman. And so when she walk in the room, men look at her. So she used to all that attention. But when he took his eyes off her on Camille, she just a little cleaning lady. That no horn just came up then.
I'm too.
I'm gonna be led of her. Let him know that she's nothing but a cleaning lady. But he was calm, he was collected, and I like that about him. Why I say he had to keep the spirit. He's a humble person, even though he has money, he's a big businessman. He has a humble spirit about him, and he care about people. And he saw that in Camille, but she don't see it in Miss Green, because she all about me, me, me.
Right. I agree wholeheartedly with you. And I didn't add this question in, but when Ted told Camille, I mean not Camille, but Ted told Miss Green, because Miss Green invited him out for dinner. And he was like,
Mhm.
well, actually, we've already talked about everything that we could talk about. I've already helped you as far as I can help you. No, thank you. I don't want to go to dinner with you. What do you think about that? Like, why do you think Miss Green asked him to dinner? And what do you think about Ted declining her invitation?
But one thing, she was trying to get the attention back on her. She had
Mhm.
mounted herself. She could flirt and woo and woo and woo. And she may have been trying to get him in her bed. Figure all of that
Mhm.
would make him cater to what she want. Because Ted is gonna do what's right all the way around. But
Mm-hmm.
if she can get him to sway to her side, and all she want to do as far as the papers and stuff, because he told her, we done talked about everything. You got all the papers and stuff. No need of us to have done it. We already discussed everything. But see, things must did not go her way. So she figured
Mm-hmm.
she'd go out to dinner and do all that. She can persuade him to go the way she really wants to go.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the paperwork and all of that were concerned, what they were discussing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you on that.
Hmm.
I am actually going to
But
start the recording from the Zoom so that I can get the audio for the podcast.
okay,
Okay.
yeah.
I meant to do that earlier, but I got it
Mhm.
now.
But he
So,
knew what type of woman she was dealing with. He
mm-hmm.
didn't get upset or nothing. He just calmly said, stated what he was gonna do, and that was it. But he knew what kind of woman she was. She may be a good business person, but he knew personally she not the type of woman that he would want to have a relationship with. So instead of starting anything, he just nipped it in the bud. Just let her know. And that's what you should do, just nip it in the bud.
I agree, and I think sometimes people lead people on, like some people know that the other person has an interest in them, and instead of them saying, no, thank you for the compliment of your interest in me, or thank you for the compliment
Mhm.
of coming over, but no thank you. I think sometimes people string people along just to kind of see what they can get away with, or until maybe
Mhm.
something better comes along.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you about Ted nipping it in the bud, and I appreciated him nipping it in the bud because Miss
Mhm.
Green didn't have no. If she had any doubts, she shouldn't have had no doubt after he was like, no thank you,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
no doubt about his interest
Yeah,
in
she can make sure that cleaning lady don't get him, because she already have her eye on him. He not interested, but she can still keep on. She can still keep on flirting, try to get it. But when his eye went to that cleaning lady, she know she had to step up her game.
her. Right,
That's why she wanted the money.
exactly.
And no telling why that's afterwards. She was stepping up her game then.
Uh, I'm telling you. And I don't know why women try to go after men who don't want them, or men try to go after women who don't want them. Like if they don't want you, of all the hundreds of thousands of men and women in the world,
Yes.
if that one
Yes.
don't want you, there's somebody out there that do want you.
Yes.
I tell you, yes. So I do appreciate his gentleness, because even when he
Yes.
declined her, he did it in a gentle way. It's not to hurt
Right.
her feelings.
Right. He
And
did.
so I appreciate the way
Mhm.
he did approach that. And so, as we're wrapping up chapter one, why do you think? So, for the listeners, you may not know, but like we just discussed, Ted declined Miss Green's offer for dinner, and then Camille was able to finish clean up the building, and then she was, prepared to leave. But when she is ready to leave, she notices Ted is waiting for her. She sees Ted on the security camera, so she knows Ted is waiting out there for her. And then she steps out, and they actually have a conversation. If you don't know what the conversation is, go read the preview. But they have a conversation. So I wonder, why do you think Ted waited for the meal?
Because he wanted to get to know her better. He really has
Mm-hmm.
an interest in her. And he could talk to her better there without Miss Green being in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, he's a gentleman. He walked Miss Green out so he can make sure she get to her car
Yes.
safely. Yeah, but he still want to get to know her. So he gonna walk her out. He gonna talk to her, try to get much information that he could get from her.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, I agree. And I
Yeah.
totally agree he's been a gentleman, because it's in the evening time. And
Hmm.
so it's dark outside, so he's wanting
Hmm.
to make sure that she's
Yeah.
okay. Now she tells him,
Yeah.
like I'm good, like I've been doing this.
Yeah. And that's women need to stop that.
And we need to stop.
Please
We
stop
do.
that. That man want to walk you to your car, make sure you get in. You go ahead. He being a gentleman. 'Cause a lot of
Yes.
them wouldn't care. We don't take that from him. We know you used to making the money, bringing home the bacon and all of that. But if you want to cook the bacon sometime, let it. You need to sit
Yes.
down and
Amen.
rest. It's the truth. You just being a gentleman, make sure
Amen.
you're safe. Because it's safety in numbers. He knew walking
Hmm.
out with you would be less chance of you walking by yourself, someone, attacking her.
Yes, I totally agree. Because it wasn't wise for her to, and maybe Camille couldn't find anybody to help her, but it's not ideal for any woman, any person really, but definitely not a woman to be out cleaning a building by herself anyway. Even though the
Mm-hmm.
security cameras are there, you just never know the location, who's
Mm-hmm.
lingering, or what might be
Mm-hmm.
happening in that area at any given moment. So I do appreciate him being a gentleman and making sure Camille got to her car safely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And this,
indeed. And she
this
made
she may not want him to ask her to dinner because you heard Miss Green ask and he said no.
uh,
So she may have been thinking this man going out. Yeah, he can walk me to my car. I bet he can ask me to dinner and ask me, this or that. And she may
mm,
not have been ready for that, even though she was still interested in him. She may not have been ready for that. Also, why she said, I've been going to my car by myself all this long time.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because sometimes we may not be ready for the serious relationship that the other person might that we sense
Right,
they might
right.
want. So I agree with that. That's a good
Mhm.
point. Yes. So as we move into chapter 2, Camille introduces her friends. Africa Washington, Garnia Garrison, and Sharon Burns. They're actually waiting for her in the living room because she is preparing to do a presentation for a nonprofit extravaganza event that's happening in her area. And so not only does Camille help her friend, Garnia is the one with the cleaning business. So not only does she work part time with Garnia, she actually has purchased an abandoned school and she is trying to upgrade it and remodel it, renovate it so she can have a community center for it's called the Westwood Community Center.
Mhm.
And I think Westwood Community and Education Center, if I'm not mistaken on the name, I can't see it right now.
Yeah.
And so she is actually going to do this presentation to see if she could be one of the finalists to win this $1 million prize for
Mhm.
the nonprofit extravaganza. And so
Mhm.
we introduced her friends in chapter 2, and her friends are supporting her, they're praying with her and for her
Mhm.
concerning the presentation. So, Aunt Wanda, again, chapter 2 introduces Camille's closest friends. They encourage her and pray for her concerning her presentation for the nonprofit fundraising extravaganza. How impactful do you think it was for her to have her friends support her in this endeavor to have this community center for young people and adults alike?
It impacted her very well because they all came together and supported her and prayed for her. And I never had a setting where even family, anyone got together and prayed for me if I was, going into starting something or going to create something or start something. And they were really supportive of her. And it's hard to find friends that support you like that. Because a lot of them are jealous of what you're doing. They don't want you to do it because they're not doing it, and and things like that. But they were very supportive, and I was really impressed when I read that part.
Hmm.
They were really supporting her, and they each prayed for her individually. Each person prayed for her, and that was even better. And it just boosted her confidence. I know I can do this. I'm praying, my friends are praying, that he's supporting me. And it took away a lot of her nervousness and her insecurity she may have, if she may have had some. But it took away a lot of her nervousness, knowing that she can go out there and she can do it and they're here to support her. And that's a good thing with friendship. Yeah, I like that.
Yes, amen. I think what I found is this is book number 15 for me. And I found that I end up writing characters and relationships in ways that I see them or the ways that I either want to experience or that I have experienced. And
Mhm.
then it gives us a perspective of this is how it can be with my friends, or this is how it can
Mhm.
be with my family, or
Mhm.
this is how it can be with my significant other or with my spouse.
Mhm.
And it gives us a different perspective than what we
Mhm.
normally see sometimes in our
Mhm.
families and in our friendships and our romantic relationships. So it was so
Yeah.
important to me to have this supportive network for her. I have
Mhm.
two friends right now that I can rely on like this. Like they
Mhm.
support me in my ministry and in my business efforts, and
Mhm.
I really treasure them with all of my heart.
Mhm.
And so it was so important for me to make sure that Camille had this for her life,
Mhm.
as she's launching out into two new territories, a place she's never been
Mhm.
before. And just having
Mhm.
that love and support of her friends was it's just
Mhm.
invaluable. And I agree with you, it is invaluable that when you can have a friend, because your family pretty much gonna love you regardless. But people
Yes.
who you
Yes.
choose to be your friends, they
Right.
choose to be your friend. Like that's a choice, for
Mhm.
them to be in your life. And
Yeah.
so I value my friendships, and so it was
Yeah.
important for me to show that here.
Yeah. And another good thing about it is they believed in her mission as much as she did. They
Yes.
believed in it as much as she believed in it. So that's another plus. They really believed in what she was doing it, and they believed that she could really get it launched off. And they also believed that her presentation would win her the money. That's just how much belief her friends had in her. So that made her believe even more because of that. And that is just a good thing. It is a wonderful thing.
Yes, yes,
And
I
plus, they
agree.
had faith in God. They had that faith because they prayed. They had the faith
Uh-huh.
too.
Yes, I agree. Because they decreed and declared it for her.
Yes,
You
they
gonna get
sure
this
did.
money,
They
girl.
did. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you gonna get this. You gonna get this money, girl.
Mhm.
Yes, that is so good. So, how impactful is it for you and for me, and just for us in the world, to have people support us when we move forward in our own endeavors?
Uh, if if everyone had that kind of support, people faith based support, and they pray and support you like this, we could get a whole lot of good things accomplished in this world.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of people out here who have ideals that they can implement, the ideals of businesses that they can start, and they can really make a good impact on the world, but they may not have that faith, or that uh they may be a little insecure, they may be nervous, they don't have that foundation of family or friends surrounding them to help them see the potential of what they can do. They just think, oh, I can't do this, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough support, I don't have enough of this or that, but they don't have that foundation, that base faith foundation. And a lot of
Yeah.
people walk around with some good idea that would really help people in this world. Business ideals, and good things, but they just don't have that faith-based foundation to support
Mhm.
them and help them, either lead them to resources that can help them.
Mhm.
They don't have that. And some of them are so insecure and they're so afraid to ask because
Mm.
sometimes they may have been told no so many times they just don't ask anymore. They don't have that
Mm.
belief in themselves. Sometimes you can just have just a small belief, but if you got that foundation of friends and family around you boosting you and say, I know you can do it, and they helping you with resources, your belief can go through the roof.
Mhm.
That's why we have to have faith in God, because that's why He gives us that we can do anything that He set us in our heart to do. We have to have that faith base, and a lot of people don't have that.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you. As you were talking, I also thought about people who have great ideas, um, and they share it with somebody, and that person who has more resources than they steal it. And then they
Yes,
use it as if it's
yes,
their own idea. And
yes.
that could be another deterrent from people, reaching out for
Hmm.
help because they don't know, is this person
Hmm.
going to take advantage of me? Are they going to steal my idea? Use
Hmm.
it for their own, don't give me credit. Like, I think that
Hmm.
has happened to people in the world
Yes.
that would make them hesitant to speak to others about,
Hmm.
the things that they want to do in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Which is very sad that somebody would steal your
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
then some people can see the potential in you that you don't see.
Yes.
You got the answer. You got the heart, or you got the insight. You can do this and that, but I may not think I can do it at all. I
Mm,
can't, may not have the potential for that. But sometimes I believe that God put some people in your life to show you some potential that you can do. Because
mhm,
He used people in our lives too.
mhm. Amen. That's
Talk
good.
to us and instill certain things in us that He wants us to know.
Yes. And it's so interesting because sometimes we can be out and about in the grocery store or just looking for an outfit or whatever. And we might
Mm-hmm.
strike up a conversation with somebody, and that might
Mm-hmm.
be the very encouragement that
Yes.
God sent to us to bless us and
Yes.
to help us and to push
Yes.
us a little bit forward to do
Mm-hmm.
what He's called us to do or to help our dreams come true. And so
Yes.
that
Yes.
that's good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. So, what do you think? Let me go up a little bit. Do you think the donor? So, for the listeners who have not read the book, Camille gets her, talks to her friends. Look, they have their what she made them some was the brownies in this one. No, the brownies was in the end of chapter 2, I think. Hold on, let me look. I think the brownies were at the end of chapter 2. Hold on. I don't know. Anyway, the brownies is somewhere. Them brownies was important. The brownies. So anyway, Camille goes to her presentation. You all. She, what, I forgot to mention this as a question, but all of her friends knew who Theodore was. They knew who Ted was, and they told her, so Camille shares her interest about Ted with her friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they tell her business first, romance later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they tell it to her twice, like business
Mm-hmm.
first, romance. Like we glad that you
Mm-hmm.
attracted to Ted. He handsome and everything, but we got to get this
Mm-hmm.
extravaganza money
Right.
first.
Right.
And then,
And then
then
y'all
you
can do
got,
what y'all have to do. Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
what do you think about that piece of advice? Business first, romance later.
Yes. Yes. I definitely agree. Go ahead and get that business over. Then you have all the rest of the time for romance.
I know
Yes.
that's right. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes. And so, for the listeners who don't know, after Camille's friends encourage her and pray for her, Camille, the next day she goes to her presentation, and guess who she is presenting in front of? No one other than Theodore Sanderson, because his family actually started the business extravaganza, and then
Mm-hmm.
Theodore himself added the nonprofit extravaganza
Mm-hmm.
to the overall business extravaganza. I
Mm-hmm.
think he 10 years ago, I think is what it says in the story
Mm-hmm.
as you continue to read chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so he started the nonprofit. It's his family's business. So he is actually there when Camille does his presentation, and the interaction with them is really cute at the beginning because
Mm-hmm.
she has to put him in his place a little bit because he's late for the meeting. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody been waiting on you, Mr. Sanford. So like we trying to get started. And of
Yes.
course, Camille corrects him, but he doesn't mind because I think he's just happy to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just take the correction. He was like, oh, but we seeing each other
Mm-hmm.
now. Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so as Camille is going, did you want to say anything about that,
No,
Aunt
no,
Wanda?
you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
as Camille is presenting her slides to the donors and to the nonprofit committee, a few questions come her way. And one of the questions that comes is, why are you putting this project into an undesirable neighborhood? And the undesirable neighborhood is really in a Black neighborhood, because the Westwood community was a thriving Black neighborhood. You're going to find this out as you read it, but they put a highway through part of the neighborhood, so it caused the residents to have to move. And this is something that happens in real life. I got this from real life situations because in several communities across America, in particular, they will run highways through Black communities and it displaces Black families. And so it was important for me to highlight this very serious thing that happens in our world. And so this donor is just like, this community is not good. Like, why are you putting it there? That was question number one. And then there was another question that came up about resources for children with special needs. Well, if you follow the Stephanie Humphrey channel and podcast, you know that I'm a special needs educator. So I'm going to put special needs children in or special needs education in anytime I can, because it is necessary for us to remember that we have children out there that are different. They learn differently. They think differently than typically developing children. So anytime I can highlight this population of kids, I will. And so that question comes forth to Camille. So I wonder, what do you think about those two questions in particular that came forth, and how Camille responded to
I I I believe that the questions are relevant. I
it?
think they
Okay.
should be asked. And the reason I
Mm-hmm.
think they should be asked, even though the person that asked them were very arrogant, very prejudiced, the questions
Mm-hmm.
still are valid questions when when you ask them for funding.
Mm-hmm.
And he just went about the wrong way, the guy did. But it's a valid questions. And my thought is about the undesirable neighborhood is that undesirable neighborhoods can become desirable neighborhoods with the right
Mm-hmm.
funding and people who care.
Amen.
And we should always have a place for the special needs children.
Mm-hmm.
Always have a place in society that protects them, teaches them, and care for them, just like they do the other children or other, other young adults and adults. And she trying to bring the neighborhood back to where it used to be. Cute was a
Mm-hmm.
thriving neighborhood before they put the highway in. And so
Mm-hmm.
the cities and states that just discarded that neighborhood. So she's trying to
Mm-hmm.
bring it back. And what other places you can send your fund? Your fund is supposed to help people. Doesn't matter what neighborhood it's in, as long as it's helping them. And you should find the most undesirable neighborhood to want to help anyway, because you know they don't have the funding. So when
Mm-hmm.
everybody is in a desirable neighborhood, you don't have to worry about the gang leaders, the drugs, and all that kind of stuff. When everybody's on this is on the same level plane of being helped, of being cared for, being protected by police, and getting the thing that they need for their neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Children learn and grow in a safe environment. Then you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about them growing up to be drug dealers, being thieves, or whatever this man want to say that the undesirables are.
Yeah. That is so good. I totally agree with you on that. Like, if they were valid questions and the way he went about it, well, I just look, I'm writing the story and I just want to snatch him up.
Yeah, it was wrong how he went about it, but the question, I agree that the question should be asked.
Mm-hmm.
So now on, and mainly he can get a clear understanding of why she wanted. So he
Mm-hmm.
can get that understanding, and anybody else on that panel in that room can get a clear understanding of what she's trying to do.
Right. And I think it was important for her to educate him because maybe he didn't know the history of the Westwood community.
Right.
And so it did give her an opportunity to share the history because maybe he was new to the community. We don't know that part. It wasn't told in the story, but she
Mm-hmm.
was able to educate him about this is why I want this community because it was a thriving Black community and I want to
Mm-hmm.
revitalize it. I wanted to get it
Mm-hmm.
back, even if it doesn't get back exactly how it was. I wanted to get it back to a place where it's thriving and
Right.
supporting the community as a whole.
Right.
Because
Right.
I agree with you, we need to put resources where they're most needed. And
Yeah.
most resources are needed in what we consider undesirable neighborhoods. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of times they're crime infested, drug infested, because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lack of resources. I don't think
Right.
children think like I want to sell drugs when I get older, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
means to get money for their family. Maybe their parents are
Mm-hmm.
sick and they can't work, or
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to
Yes.
put food. They're the oldest sibling and they're trying to put
Right.
food, for on the table. And please understand me, listeners. I do not condone drug dealing of any kind. The Stephanie
Mm-hmm.
Humphrey channel, the Stephanie Humphrey podcast, Aunt Wanda, we do not condone drug dealing of
No,
any
we don't.
kind. But I know that sometimes that is why these young people sell drugs to
Yes.
get, it's a quick way to get money for their family. It's a
Mm-hmm.
reality, you all. Talk if you
Mm-hmm.
don't believe me, talk to some young people. I'm an educator for
Mm-hmm.
over 20 years. I have talked to young
Mm-hmm.
people. I know
Mm-hmm.
where some of their thoughts lie and the reason why they do some of what they do because I talk to
Mm-hmm.
them. I have conversations with them, and then it gives me an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to encourage them. There's a better way.
Right.
I know this
Right.
is a quick way, but there's a better way. You can actually go get
Yes.
a job. It might be fast food, but at least it's a legitimate job that may
Mm-hmm.
not end you in jail or dead.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's where the resources are needed in those
Mm-hmm.
crime infested places, so that the
Mm-hmm.
people can thrive in a legal way and not illegal way. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Because that same
yeah,
question he asked, other ones in the same room may have been thinking the same thing. So she,
true.
you know, Made it clear for
Yeah,
everyone.
it made it clear for everybody. I
They
agree
wouldn't have
because
to
I
come
feel
back
like
later on and say, well, why did they pick this neighborhood? Why they did this today, even though he said in an arrogant way, the question still needed to be asked. So everybody can be clear on it.
yes, agreed. I
Mhm.
agree. And so yeah, so the question was asked and answered. The special needs question was asked and answered. And what I want to add to this, the question came about because I'm a special education teacher, so I know how sometimes we can get burnt out, child. You got kids, sometimes they hit you, spit on you, bite you, kick you.
Mhm.
We're changing, pull-ups on sometimes a middle
Mhm.
schooler and high schooler. I don't have middle school and high school, I have pre-K, but I know middle school, high schooler, sometimes they're not potty trained, y'all, and special needs educators change them, teach them life skills. Like we do a lot for our children, like all educators do, but I just have a special place for special needs educator because I
Yeah.
am one. And so the question came about, like, why did these teachers already experience burnout at the public school level? Now, what makes you think they want to come after school to teach these kids as well? And
Mhm.
that was, to me, that was the most valid question because I want people
Mhm.
to think about, well, why is this
Mhm.
question coming forth? Because all teachers are burnt out, but definitely
Yeah.
special education teachers burnt out.
Yeah.
And so I like how she responded by saying, we're going to do this in shifts. Like they won't have to work every day. They'll actually have different shifts that they can work.
Mhm.
Maybe they
Mhm.
work Monday and Tuesday, and then somebody else comes Wednesday and Thursday, or then
Right.
somebody else comes Friday. So I
Right.
like how she answered it to let them know.
Yeah, I do too.
As an educator, she's an educator
Mhm.
herself before she retired
Mhm.
to do this project, so she understands
Mhm.
as well. And so
Mhm.
she, presented the question or the answer to the
Mhm.
question to say, we got a
Mhm.
solution for that. We're gonna give them some
Mhm.
shifts. We're gonna let them kind of choose how they want to work with us in this
Mhm.
particular setting. So I just want to give a shout out to all the special needs educators. Woo
Mhm.
woo! You are important. We value you. We
Yes.
value you. So
Yes.
yes, thank you. And so you all, after the presentation, Miss Marguerite, who is one of Ted's, she works with Ted, kind of like his mom on the job, his job mom. And so she leads all the donors and the judges and everybody to eat. And so it leaves Camille and Ted in the room by themselves, and she's gathering up her papers and her reports and everything that she shared with the committee. And so her and Ted get an opportunity to interact with each other. And
Mhm.
if you want to know how they reacted, how they interacted, read it for yourself. So you'll know what they said and what that interaction was like. But what do you think, Aunt Wanda, about their interaction after that meeting?
I like the interaction with each other.
Hmm.
Mhm. I like it.
Yes.
I think you more like, and you said you more like a mother to him or an aunt or something like that to him. And I feel if he has a problem, that he can go to her and talk to her, and she'll give him a
Yes.
valid answer. Just listen to him.
Yes. Yes.
And I think
And
she
so,
care a lot. She care a lot about him, and I think
mhm,
she'll be a good. She's a protector. She gonna protect him from
yes.
whatever she feel might come. She gonna
Hmm.
protect him. But she see that he interested in someone. She gonna make sure she check that someone out, and if it's good to her, she can encourage him to take it slow, or within the relationship. But I think she
Yes,
really
I
care for him.
agree.
Like it's not that she really care for him, and he care for her. I think they've been working for a good while together. By the way they
Hmm.
interact with each other, so they know each other. He can joke with
Hmm.
her, smirk with her, and it don't mean nothing to her because they have
Hmm.
that type of relationship. Yeah.
Yes. I agree. So Aunt Wanda
Mhm.
was just talking about the relationship between Miss Marguerite and Ted because like Aunt Wanda said they've been
Mhm.
working with each other for a while. She's an older
Mhm.
lady, an
Mhm.
elder um to Ted, and so he really does
Mhm.
value her. And like Aunt Wanda said, she's his protector
Mhm.
ultimately. And I think she picked up on Ted and Camille liking each other in the
Mhm. Yes,
meeting.
I do too.
Yes, and so she addresses that kind of at the end of their meeting and
Mhm.
everything. So
Mhm.
I wonder, what do you think about the interaction between Camille and Ted? How do you think their interaction went? Like when she was gathering up her papers and getting ready to go, and they had an opportunity to talk. And of course, he walked her to the elevator, asked her out for lunch. So what do you
Mhm.
think about their interaction?
I think it was good because they
Okay.
finished the business. Her friend
Yep.
took it to. So now it's time for him to know the relax and get to know each other more. So he asked her out. She accepted. He really liked her, and she
Yes.
interested in him too.
Right, right, yes. Now she didn't accept right away. I don't Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't accept right away. But if you
Mm-mm.
keep reading, you might see something different. But right on the
Mm-hmm.
elevator as they were talking, she didn't really accept right away because she
Mm-hmm.
really does want to keep her focus on winning the expo
Mm-hmm.
without, marring the lines. Because I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
she didn't want people to say, well, if she does win, we don't know, but if she does
Right.
win, she won because her and Ted are together or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
That
so
may be
she
why her that may be why her friend said business first, romance later. So they want
mhm
to think that them being together alter his decision.
exactly. I agree.
Well, I said they got together. God believe they did.
Oh, okay. Look,
They
Aunt Faye
really
is already predicting what's gonna happen in the story,
God
right?
believe they did.
Yes. Well, we're actually gonna find out those next few chapters. You'll find out how that's gonna work out or not work out. We'll see what
I'm
happens.
thinking it's gonna work out good.
Okay, all right now. All right. So Aunt Wanda, at the end of chapter 2, we read the conversation between Camille, Africa, Garnia, and Sharon about Camille's attraction to Ted. And so they talk about, let me see if I can get there. So they talk a little bit about his age because he is a little bit older than Camille is. The book doesn't say how. Does the book say how much older? Maybe. Maybe the book tells us later about how much older he is to her. But they talk about how handsome he is and how they like admire him and different things of that nature and his
Mhm.
age. So, what do you think about that? Like their interaction, um, or Camille's interaction with her friends and how she feels about Ted. Like, what do you think about the conversations that they had at this point?
Saying that they know a lot about Ted that Camille don't
Uh-huh.
know.
They do, yes.
But they think that they're a good match already.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And they really like him. They like his humbleness and his humility. They like all of that. And they think he would be a good match for Camille.
Yes,
Mhm.
I agree. And then we get back to the fact that business first, pleasure later.
Oh,
And so, which I find interesting because there are husbands and wives that are business partners. And so
mhm,
I've never talked to like one-on-one or, to spouses who are business partners, but I've always been curious, like, how do they make it work? Like, how do they keep their business and romance separate, or do they keep it separate? And like, what do
mhm,
they do when there's a business disagreement, or a home disagreement, and how do they not conflict with each other?
mhm.
I've always been curious about that.
Yes.
And then
But
how does that translate? You see them all day. You see them at the business.
mhm,
Like, how does all of
mhm.
that translate? So I wonder, what are your thoughts about mixing business with pleasure and how all of that works?
You have to have that strong foundation for as marriage is concerned, and you have to have a good work ethic that
Mm-hmm.
you can separate the business. So when we close the door, we're gonna lock up. Let's go on home. You can separate them. You can
Mm-hmm.
separate the two, and it depends on the two people involved. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on the two people and their personality.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
depends on the two people. Because some people can do it, some people can't, and some people can, and they get along well.
Okay, yes.
It
Yeah,
depends
I
on the two
agree.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
I know they have. I know there's a lot of communication. They have to really be able to communicate with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to communicate.
Yeah.
I feel they had that strong foundation in their marriage. They have a strong foundation in their business, and they will know how to separate the 2.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I agree with
Mhm.
that. Yeah, I agree with that. All right. And so you all, I was wrong about the brownies. It was actually cinnamon rolls. Camille actually told her friends after they have a conversation about how the presentation went, and they
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation about Ted. They actually talk about the cinnamon rolls, not the brownies. I guess maybe I want some brownies. I don't know, but it's actually some cinnamon rolls. So as we're moving into chapter 3, and we know that the first 2 chapters of the book were made available to us to read, but only a few paragraphs of chapter 3. I didn't tell anybody that they could read some of chapter 3, but just a little bit of chapter 3 was there, and it
Mm-hmm.
stopped at a really crucial point that we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you who have not read the book, chapter 3 opens up with Camille and her friends. They're out at a cafe, they're having breakfast. And Camille, they're sitting outdoors. So her friends are kind of sitting around her, and she's sitting with her back up to the fence. And so her back is to like the sidewalk and people who walking behind them and everything that's going on behind her. So she sees her friends doing this, like waving somebody over. And it's none other than Theodore Stanford's son.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, as soon as she heard his voice, she was like, I've been out on. My friends
Mm-hmm.
don't wave him over. So what
Mm-hmm.
do you think about Camille's friends waving Ted over when they see him?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Um, they really like Ted. They really want those two to get together. And they doing everything every chance they get that they can bring those two together and interact. That's what they doing. That's what they doing. Those,
Yes, they are
they,
not
yeah.
playing.
Yeah, because they really know more about him than she does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they really want those two together.
Yes, they definitely want them two together.
Mm-hmm.
and and I could just imagine Camille, like when he comes up behind her to say hello, because he's even looking,
Mm-hmm.
he sees the ladies waving him over, but he's looking like, do I know them? Like, what's going on? But as he continues to look, he recognizes Camille, the back of Camille. He recognizes, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So let me go on over and
Mm-hmm.
see what this is all about.
Yeah.
And so I can
Mm-hmm.
imagine Camille when she recognizes he's standing behind her, because he speaks, she probably rolling her eyes at her friends because the book does say she kicks them under the
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
she kicks them under the table. Like, what
Yeah,
y'all doing?
them,
We're supposed to have business first and pleasure later. What are y'all doing?
they can't wait.
They so excited for her. They cannot wait for this
Mm-hmm.
romance to
Mm-hmm.
potentially blossom. I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you do that, Aunt Wanda, like with your family or with your friends? Like, if you knew that they were interested in somebody and that
Mm-hmm.
person was probably interested in them, if y'all were out and about, would you like invite them over into your group?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Yes, I got you. I have actually been
I
out with
don't
my friends. We were at a restaurant eating. It was the 2 friends I referenced at the start of the
know.
broadcast. And one of them is married, the other two of us are not married. And so there was some gentlemen. We were at a Mexican restaurant, so there were some gentlemen. They were there, and they were looking. And I'll talk to anybody. I don't care who you are. And so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, how y'all doing? Like, y'all enjoying your meal?" So like, I'm engaging in conversation. They was like, "Stephanie," I'm like, "But y'all know me. Y'all been out with me. We've been friends for a long time. Y'all know I'm gonna talk to everybody." And so we just started talking to them and just engaging with them, nothing
Mm-hmm.
serious, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's fun to engage people when you're out and about. Now, of
Yeah.
course, if it's a friend of mine and I know she likes somebody, I'm gonna be the one that's waving them over. I am. I'm be like, come on over and talk, let's talk, let's find out who you are. So I would be the one to wave somebody
Mm-hmm.
over. My friend
Yeah.
who's married, she probably would too, like trying to get one
Mm-hmm.
of the us single people married. And my other
Mm-hmm.
friend, she's a little shy, so I'm not quite sure if she would do that, but I would be quick to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would be mad if they did it to me, but I sure would do it to them. Come on over, come on
I
over.
believe it. I believe that.
Yes, yes. And um, so they interact with Ted. Well, we don't know if they interact with Ted because I don't tell y'all that. But
Mm-hmm.
Ted, hold on, let me get to chapter 3 because I'm actually still on chapter 2. So Camille introduces her friends to Ted. So this is what I'm going to actually read what Ted says so you all can get it. So this is the next to the last paragraph. It says Camille didn't even turn to face him. Hi, Ted. These are my best friends and roommates. And she introduces Sharon, Africa, and Garnia. Ladies, Ted Sanfordson. Hi, Ted, the ladies chorus. Wonderful to meet you, ladies, Ted answered. And then he thinks to himself, because all of my italics is a person actually thinking thoughts to themselves. And he says, the Africa Washington. Interesting. And I stopped the preview right there because I was like, I need y'all trying to figure out what Ted means about this. So, Aunt Wanda, what do you think this means?
Whatever business Africa has, he have heard about it or know about it. But he didn't know who the owner was, but he know about the business. And I'm thinking, I don't know if it's true that the business is the cleaning business. Because she cleaned different buildings and different, buildings and things. So he know about the business, but he know who the owner is, but he never seen the face to the owner.
Okay.
I'm thinking that.
Okay. Okay.
So
All
when he heard
right.
the name, and then he said that.
Okay.
Or
That's
he
a
may
good
know
thought.
somebody who knows somebody, or he may have heard that name come up in conversation or something.
Uh-huh. Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, yes. So if you remember, Garnia is the one with the cleaning business
Okay.
because Ted actually asked Camille for her business card
Oh, that's
so
right.
that
He
he could
sure
like
did.
pass it
Yeah,
around.
he
Yes,
did.
yes,
He
yes,
did.
it's okay. And so, but it is really interesting how he knows Africa's name. But
Hmm.
y'all gonna have to get the book to find out how he knows the Africa Washington.
He may have a friend who used to date her.
Hey, hey,
We don't know.
the
I don't know.
possibilities, right? The
It sure
possibilities.
is. Just throwing it
Yes,
out
and
there. I
so
don't know.
say that again,
I
Aunt
thought
Wanda.
just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Yes, that's a
I'm
good
eager to
thought.
find out. I'm eager to find
Yes,
out. I know it's gonna be a twist. Be something. It's gonna be something I would not have even thought about. I know that.
yes, it is. Look, you all, Africa. Camille has an interesting story. We'll get a little bit more of her story, of course. Africa, Garnia, and Sharon, all three of them have, I mean, like really good stories. Like as
Mhm,
I wanted to make sure that their story, their life, their family, that it was told in the book as well.
mhm,
And they have some good stories. But Africa's story, y'all, it's a
mhm,
page turner. So there are,
mhm,
I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you all there are two chapters dedicated. I'm sorry, two, one, well, actually three. There's actually three chapters dedicated to Africa
okay.
and and more. I'll say Africa and more
Mhm,
because her story, I had to dive a little bit deeper into it. And so I hope that when you read the story that you won't say, well, why did she pay so much attention to Africa? I think
mhm,
once you read her story, you'll
mhm.
understand why. Because
Okay.
her story goes a little bit deeper than Sharon and Garnia's does. Now,
Mhm,
Garnia's story, once y'all read that story, once you get to her story, you're gonna be ready to
mhm,
snatch somebody up.
mhm.
Let
Okay.
me tell y'all something. And when you read Sharon's story, it's so heartwarming. Her story is really
Mhm,
heartwarming, and so you got a little bit of somebody different in each of them as we get their backstory and understand who they
mhm,
are today. And so I
mhm.
hope that you enjoy. I'm reading the book. Get the book, you all look. But before we get there, Aunt Wanda's going to share her final thoughts, and then I'm going to share some final thoughts, and we'll go from there.
Well, my final thoughts is it's a very interesting book. I'm ready to read it. And I know when I start reading, I'm not gonna want to put it down. So I'm gonna get myself comfortable so I won't have to get up and do anything. And I'm gonna read the book. And I just ready to find out how it's gonna end. Yes, I'm ready to get that book and read it. I'm an
Yes.
avid book reader and those type of stories I love, and I'm ready to get it and read it.
Right.
It's
Awesome.
a
Well,
good
that is,
book so far. So far, it's a very good book.
oh, Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And look, you all, Wanda says she's ready to get the book, and I hope you are too. It is available right now at Barnes and Noble for $12.99. The ebook is available, only ebook right now. I don't know that I'll do any printed copies of this particular book because I'm with a different company now and their costs are a little bit higher than what I'm used to, but this company is better suited for me and my business, so I went with them. But Barnes and Noble's ebook is available right now for $12.99. In addition, if you like Rakuten Kobo, it is another book outlet that I really love using, really love their platform. And so they are available. You all, my phone battery is about to die. I'm gonna go get my charger. It's right here. Y'all give me a second. I am so sorry about that, you all. I did not realize that my phone was dying out. I didn't think I've been on it that much, but I'm actually doing the broadcast from my phone because it's easier that way. So I apologize, y'all. Y'all know I don't mind glitches and issues happening because guess what? We are imperfect people. So sometimes a
Amen.
broadcast is going to be an imperfect
Amen.
broadcast, but to me,
Yes.
it's perfect.
Yes.
Mistakes and all is perfect, but I didn't want the phone to
Mhm.
go out. So look, you all, you can get the book from Kobo if you like their platform, which I love their platform. It is available there as well for $12.99, y'all. I think you're gonna love the story. I really think you're gonna love the story. So I invite you to get the book, get the book, get the book. 8 friends, 4 loves, 1 foundation. And just in case you all don't know, all of my books are faith based, faith filled romance novels. You will find prayers. We're going to talk about God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. It's full of fun, family, faith is what I say. Fun, family, and faith, friendships, romance. You're going to get a little bit of romance there. I try not to put too much of it in, but it's in there just to let you know. And so it's good, y'all. It's good if I do say so myself. It is good. So I invite you to get the book, ebook available for $12.99. Get it today. And when y'all get it, leave a comment. Whatever platform you purchase it on after you finish reading the book, leave me a comment. Rate it for me. Let me know what you think. Give me an honest rating because it really does support me and help me to know what I did really great and what I might need to work on or tweak for the next time. Okay. So make sure that you leave me a comment, leave me a review, let me know what you think after you purchase the book. And don't forget to tell your family and friends, you all, that 8 friends, 4 loves, and 1 foundation is available today for purchase. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that's all. I really want to say, I want to thank you so much for
You're
joining me tonight
welcome.
for this
You're
book
welcome,
discussion.
Lady
I have really
Hill.
enjoyed all
Yes,
of
I
your
enjoyed
thoughts
it
and everything that
also.
you've had to say. So thank you, thank you, thank
Yes,
you.
you're welcome.
Yes. All right, you all. We're gonna let you go because I'm about to get me some popcorn and sit in front of the TV for a few minutes before I dive into my bed. So everybody, take care. Thank you so much for joining the Stephanie Humphrey channel and the Stephanie Humphrey podcast for Determined Publishing's new book release, my book release, 8 friends, 4 loves, 1 foundation, and that foundation is Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right,
Amen.
y'all. Amen. Y'all have a blessed night, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye, everyone.